Oh, okay. Let's do Lee Rodarte. We're gonna watch all of them anyway.
On the 2nd of August, 2017, at approximately 5:15 p.m., 21-year-old Savannah Gold left her parents' home and drove to San Jose Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida. She had a 5:30 shift at the Bonefish Grill.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we fucking go, dude. Okay, can't wait. Another Florida murder, dude. What the fuck's going on? This is gonna be fucking... Let's see what the detectives do. We just watched, like, one of the best detectives we've seen on this channel so far. Let's see what the other... No, okay, bye, dude, I can't. None of these are gonna be as bad.
Casual seafood restaurant where she worked as a waitress, but on this occasion, she never showed up. It was a fairly quiet Wednesday afternoon at the diner. Her absence wasn't too much of a strain, so the on-duty supervisor simply took her hours off the roster for that day and thought nothing else of it. Suspicions only arose roughly 1 hour and 15 minutes after Savannah had left the house, as her father received—
Thank you, Franny, for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. Why are they always in Florida or Ontario? Part of the reason why a lot of these videos are from Florida, or that we know about, like the Florida man, for example, is because of the openness. Like in the state of Florida, they just reveal the shit, like sunshine laws, I think it's called. They don't hide the names and stuff like that.
Received a text message from her phone number.
I just want to tell you I'm in a really good guy. We're running away together. I love him. We're leaving to I'll call you later when we get to where we're going. What the fuck?
Savannah's older brother also received a text 43 seconds later. Although both texts came from Savannah's number, her family knew right away that something wasn't right. She had just left the house in what appeared to be very high spirits, but now proclaimed to be running away with an unidentified man without packing so much as a change of clothes. Not only that, but the text messages were riddled with errors and composed in a completely different way to how she would normally write. Her phone was switched off when they tried calling just minutes after receiving the texts, so they immediately called her place of work and found out that she hadn't shown up. It was at that point they called police and filed a missing persons report. Savannah had been gone for less than 2 hours. Roughly 40 minutes later, her car was found unlocked and abandoned in the Bonefish Grill parking lot, and the only thing missing was her phone. Her wallet, ID, and a number of other valuable items had not been taken. Investigators went through the parking lot surveillance tapes and discovered what would then become the primary piece of evidence for the case. The majority of footage remains undisclosed to the public, but a detailed description of what occurred has already been released. What we know is that Savannah parked her car and stepped out of the vehicle at exactly 5:31 p.m. She then walked over to another vehicle and conversed with the occupant for 14 minutes through the driver's side window. She then got into the back seat of said vehicle at 5:45 p.m. 14 seconds later, the car began to shake sporadically as if some type of struggle was occurring inside. The rear door swung open 3 times, but was immediately and forcefully shut each time. It appeared as though someone was attempting to get out, but couldn't. This lasted for 49 seconds until the vehicle suddenly stopped moving. A male figure was then seen getting out and proceeded to walk over to Savannah's car.
He enlisted some of his best work. I wonder why he did that. Thank you. Ads, maybe? It's all on his Patreon? But he doesn't even have his Patreon open anymore. Right? I mean, or he's not, like, making new videos or anything like that. You can probably DM him to get the links. No, I mean, there's a lot of people in here that already have the links. It was Patreon, then he stopped doing Patreon and forgot to list them again. The unlisted videos aren't even on Patreon. Wait, really?
That was 20 feet away. The surveillance was grainy, and the person could not be identified from the footage alone. All that police could ascertain was that he had short brown hair and was roughly 5'11". The unidentified person reached into Savannah's car and took out what police believed was her phone. He then slashed the front tire with a knife before walking back to his own vehicle. He got in and drove away from the scene at exactly 6:04 p.m. Savannah was never seen exiting the car. This was a crucial piece of evidence, and essentially all investigators had to go on. They had to find out who the man was in the video, and fast. But they also had to be careful in how they conducted their investigation. They couldn't let anyone find out they had this footage in their possession, as knowing this information could allow a suspect to alter their alibi to fit with the evidence. This would take a significant advantage away from investigators during interrogation, and would hinder their ability to build a case to a considerable degree. Over the following 2 days, investigators briefly interviewed all the staff at the Bonefish Grill. For the most part, these encounters consisted of just 3 questions. When was the last time you saw Savannah? Do you know where she is? And is there anything you know that could help with our investigation? Within 48 hours, they had 3 potential suspects, whose names were then ran through the motor insurance database. The first suspect didn't have a license. The second suspect owned a bright red 2001 Jeep Cherokee, while the third suspect was registered to a 2012 silver Chevy Malibu, an identical match to the vehicle seen on surveillance. His name was Lee Rodarte. He was 28 years old and was both the manager and head chef at the Bonefish Grill. Coincidentally, he was the first person to be interviewed at the diner about Savannah's disappearance, where he told investigators that he hadn't seen her in about 3 weeks and knew nothing of her current whereabouts. It was only from his co-workers that police discovered he was having an on and off relationship with Savannah for the last 8 months, despite it being against company policy. From what investigators could gather, this was a very popular individual, rising fast through the ranks of his chosen profession. He was known for his charm and charisma amongst his colleagues, and also had a lot of success when it came to the opposite sex. On all accounts, his life seemed to be going very well, but he was now the prime suspect in a kidnapping investigation, and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office planned their next steps in meticulous detail. At around 5:15 p.m. on August 5th, police arrested Rodarte while midway through his shift at work. They told him it was for an outstanding traffic warrant and took him to the JSO Police Department.
Can you do me a favor? I'm going to have you take that apron off, too, just to kind of get it right there. I'll set it right here. You can go ahead and have a seat for me real quick. I'll be right back, okay? Yes, sir.
The officer said,
Bro, chat's so fucking, like, uniquely horny that I saw motherfuckers in here calling him a Chad, dude. Just down cataclysmic, catastrophic, be normal, please, for like 3.5 seconds. What the fuck is like, what is up with like murder that makes this chat so horny? I guess like chat will just say anything, literally. There's just people in this chat that will literally say anything at all times. They are not liable, you know what I'm saying? They're horny on non-murder videos too. Yeah, that's true.
He would be right back, yet Lee was left to sit there for 90 minutes with nothing but his own thoughts to keep him company. Now, think of yourself in his position, and presume you were guilty of whatever happened to Savannah, and that whatever happened was something truly horrific. In the present moment, you have just been arrested for an outstanding traffic warrant, yet you were interviewed the day before about your co-worker's disappearance. 1,000,001 things will be running through your mind about what could happen next, and as each second ticks by, the anxiety this will cause will begin to fester and slowly intensify. However, the optimism of uncertainty would still be present. There would still be hope, but this hope is about to be dashed. The sound of the door opening would have been a pleasant relief from the monotonous cycle of Rodarte's own thoughts, yet this brief moment of alleviation would have instantly converted to shock as Detective Ray Reeves walked through the door, the same investigator who had interviewed him about Savannah the day prior.
Hey, how you doing? Good, good. You remember me from the other day, Detective Reeves? Okay.
It would have been at this moment that Lee realized his situation was far more severe than he was hoping. The relative optimism he would have felt during the initial 90 minutes on his own will now be gone, which in turn will greatly magnify the contrasting sense of fear he will now be experiencing.
This is my partner, Detective Staley. She was interviewing some of the other folks, waiters and other staff people the other day, so she didn't get a chance to come in at the time. I wanted to talk to you, or actually we wanted to. You want some more water?
Please. Actually, would it be all right to use the restroom one more time before we start off?
Come on, you bet. I'll walk out there. You want some more water?
Please. That'd be all right.
Yeah. You got water? Like I said, I want to kind of go over some stuff. I know we talked the other day just for a few minutes and had some concerns about a couple things. And, oh, okay. Well, there we go. Anybody else wants to talk? There we go. I wanted to talk to you about Savannah. So I just had a couple of things that came up that I wanted to ask you about specifically that didn't seem to line up. So I wanted to come down and talk to you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Have you drank any alcohol today? Any drugs today?
I took an Adderall that my buddy gave me.
Okay.
Because I was there so late last night. I
Yeah,
came
yeah.
in and was super tired. Like, here, take this.
Okay. Adderall?
Yeah.
And do you normally take that?
No, I've taken one a long time ago. Like,
Okay.
I wouldn't say high school, a little bit after high school, but it's been years.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. So, Savannah, you said that you knew her and you guys had, you knew her from work. I mean, just kind of fill me in with that. How long have you known her?
Like I said,
The detective starts off with an open-ended question. This gives the suspect total freedom and flexibility in how they wish to respond. It's commonly believed that people with nothing to hide are likely to give a short and concise response to these types of questions. For example, if Lee was completely unconcerned with what was going on, he could respond in 3 short sentences. I met her from work. I've known her for 2 years. We dated for a bit. To the contrary, if an individual does have something to hide, they are more likely to give a lengthy and detailed response. The simple reasoning behind this is that they are seeking approval. Imagine yourself in a job interview and you're asked an open-ended question, such as, "Tell me about yourself." You would feel the need to be thorough in order to please your potential employer. The psychological premise is exactly the same with regard to police interrogations, albeit under completely different circumstances. Guilty subjects will see the interrogator as an imminent threat, and will therefore attempt to appease this threat to prevent further aggression. Truthful subjects will have no fear nor concern with regard to the same element. They would see the interrogator as a mere inconvenience as opposed to a threat.
I've known her obviously since she started working there. I would say probably about 8 months ago or so, we started hanging out outside of work. And at the time I had a girlfriend. But we kind of connected, me and Savannah. So we hung out a little bit here and there. Got pretty close. We come from, I guess, somewhat similar backgrounds, I guess you should say.
Okay.
She didn't have it the best growing up, neither did I. So we kind of connected, hung out for a little while, and then she started using drugs a lot.
Okay.
Now, I used them with her, not the same drugs that she used all the time, but I did them with her a couple times, and then she started to get heavy into them, and
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
so I kind of just tried to take a step back and put things off. Probably a month or so ago, I saw Savannah at work, and she looked healthy again. You know, she gained a little bit of weight, and just, you know, friendly talk at work, you know, telling her, you know, hope everything's been good. And she told me, you know, that I guess she did a lot of drugs and ended up in the hospital. She ended up missing, like, I want to say a couple of days, 3 or 4 days from work.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, you know, me being pretty close to her, I was concerned and everything. But after she came back, you know, she looked good. And she ended up telling me that, I guess, you know, over those 4 days, she detoxed pretty well. And she kind of caught a, you know, new sense into why she shouldn't do drugs so much.
Okay.
And like I said, she looked good. You know, she started looking healthy. So we kind of were talking, you know, here and there. We hung out a couple times. She came over to the house, and, you know, we just kicked back, drink a couple beers, watch movies, stuff like that. Like I said, we did, you know, we took like some pain pills here and there on occasion, but then she started like bringing heroin over and stuff like that. And that's, you know, my mom was addicted to methamphetamines when she was, when I was younger. So those hard drugs just kind of scare me a little bit. So that's why I took a step back the first time. I ended up telling her, I was like, hey, you know, for one, I'm dealing with a lot myself right now as it is. You know, I'm a little depressed. But I think we're moving too fast. I think we should, you know, stop talking. And she said, I understand, it's completely fine, no problem, you know. She said, I'll delete your number, I'll never text you again. And that was the last time that we text.
When was that?
Yeah.
When was that?
It was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Sometime in July.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things you said was that was the last time that you had contact with her.
Yes.
As far as, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I mean, you correct me.
That was the last time that I texted her.
Yeah, text or a phone call or a messenger
Yeah.
or anything like that. 2 to 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Okay. And then the last time, when was the last time you saw her?
This is what I was a bit. I didn't tell you the truth when we talked at Bone Fish.
Okay.
Lee doesn't know the extent of the evidence, but he knows the investigators have something, and he now has no choice but to amend his alibi to some degree and give some form of admission. This allows the investigators to get one step closer to a confession, while also keeping the capacity of the evidence hidden until a more critical moment.
Last time I saw her was Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
Bro, what the fuck, dude? My man, like, he just said, do you know this girl, dude? Like, it is insane. He just like, here's her social security number. Honestly, like, she really hated wearing the color pink on Tuesdays. Like, that is the most insane. Like, why did he do this? He's just like, he literally just got fucking stun locked into, like, I feel like he's gonna accidentally be like, well, you know, she got murdered on this day. Like, I know so much about her. Like, when she got murdered, how she got murdered, you know? Jesus, like, you know, I've taken Adderall at a certain point in my life, and like, it's like, what the fuck? He's on PEDs, bro. He's on PEDs. Like, this is just the worst thing he could have done, dude. Literally, worst thing he could have fucking done is just take Adderall before this interrogation.
I heard that she has been basically telling a lot of people at work that we hooked up a bunch, like a couple of days before that, and that she was going to, like, tell about the whole situation and, you know, try to get me fired. And
why would that get you fired?
I'm a manager and she's an employee. So
okay, so you guys aren't supposed to fraternize?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And she just told people, I guess, that she was out with that work at the restaurant that we were having sex.
Okay.
I pulled in the parking lot. She pulled in a little bit after me. I parked and I said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And she said, yeah, what's up? And I was like, I heard you've been saying some things about me, and you continuing to hang out, and you know that we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And she asked me, she said, can I come sit in the car because I just did some heroin and I'm a little paranoid.
Heroin doesn't make you feel paranoid. It makes you extremely relaxed and oblivious to your surroundings. Some might argue that heroin can cause paranoia depending on the user, yet Savannah was driving moments earlier and was about to start a shift at work. If she was using, she most certainly wasn't the type to get paranoid.
Okay.
I said, why are you doing that? You know, you're doing really well. You shouldn't have been doing that.
Okay.
And so she came and sat in the car, and I explained to her the situation. I told her that servers at Bonefish were coming to me and telling me that you're telling people when you're out that we're still having sex and we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And I said, I would appreciate, you know, I need you to stop because for one, it's jeopardizing my job. We agreed to, you know, stop talking mutually and just move on and, you know, be cordial or whatever. But it was nothing more than that. And she said, fuck you, you know, you're a piece of shit. And I said, she said she's going to keep talking, you know, telling lies and stuff about me and everything like that. And at that point,
Lee has just tried to cover his tracks as much as possible without giving away anything incriminating. He may have thought a witness saw him at the scene with Savannah and was most likely hoping the verbal argument was the extent of what was seen. He therefore gives away this detail in an attempt to come across as truthful, yet as we know, the investigators have proof that Savannah never got out of the car, and he's about to lock himself into his second lie, which is exactly what the detectives want.
she had her phone in her hand, she got out of the car and walked towards the main entrance from San Jose.
So like if
So this is
like
I wouldn't say she was walking along the edge of the plaza, but she was walking maybe towards this way.
mm-hmm.
And I would say an older model Ford pickup,
Mm-hmm.
green,
Okay.
drove past me and around, and she got in.
Okay.
The suspect has now thrown away his best possible defense, which would have been that he drove away from the parking lot with Savannah, and that she got out at another destination where they then parted ways. If he had known about the surveillance footage, this would have no doubt been his revised narrative, but it's no longer possible due to this fabrication. This is now his stated alibi under caution, and any amendments that he might try to make at a later stage will have no credibility whatsoever.
So she gets out of the backseat and begins walking in the direction of, not necessarily paralleling San Jose, but she's walking towards 295 or down towards that entrance area.
Yeah.
And then she's got her phone, and you said you thought she was calling somebody?
The detective knows this alibi is completely fabricated, so you might be wondering why he's inquiring into it further. The truth is that he's not actually inquiring, only pretending to. The suspect's responses to these questions are of no importance, and the detective is not information gathering. He's simply getting the suspect to let his guard down as...
And he's done. A fucking ultimate GG's self-report moment right there, dude. It's over. FBI, open up, dude. It's fucking done. He really thought he was slick, too. With the whole, like, oh, yeah, she got out of the car. And, you know, I don't know. Like, that's crazy. He really thought he could get... He really thought he could get away with that. Under 20 minutes, it is a speed run.
As much as possible by making him think that he is being believed. As the suspect continues to convey this made-up narrative, his anxiety will slowly diminish, his belief that he is fooling the detectives will increase, and his heightened state of mind will decrease as a result. This is a well-known strategy, and the reason for this strategy is because the detective is about to initiate the first confrontation. He wants to catch the suspect completely off guard.
She had it in her hand and looked like, I mean, I couldn't tell if she was texting or not or anything.
But she had her phone out.
Yeah, she had her phone out and was looking at it, and then it looked like she was going to put it up to her ear, and then the green truck came around.
Okay.
And she
how long
got
do you think it was between the time that she got out and started using her phone till that green truck pulled up?
This goes on for roughly 90 seconds, and Rodarte appears to be considerably more at ease.
295 all the way to Beach Boulevard to Grove Park, and then Grove Park.
How long does that usually take you? Depending on traffic, obviously.
the trap, I think it usually takes me about 25 minutes or so.
Okay. What happened to your neck?
We see a very sharp and very sudden switch. The suspect is taken from feeling assured to once again feeling threatened. It's believed that when the immediate shift from one emotion to the next is so extreme, a suspect can become disoriented, and their ability to think critically can be affected. In other words, it's much harder for them to think up lies on the spot or fabricate emotion in a convincing manner.
That was self-inflicted, actually.
After a long, nervous breath, he takes 3 seconds to respond, yet somewhat saves himself with the answer. The fact he stated his injuries were self-inflicted could give reason for the nervous breath and his hesitation to respond, as self-harm is a taboo subject, and some might be embarrassed or even ashamed to admit to it. The detective recognizes this and immediately puts him back on the spot.
Why?
I just have been having kind of a hard time.
To your neck?
I couldn't.
The first interjection from the female detective. She alludes to the fact that the neck is an unusual place for a self-inflicted injury, essentially stating that she's not buying it, but also refrains from applying too much pressure, which is being saved for a more pivotal moment at a later stage.
Yeah, I did. And
What did you use?
a knife.
When did you do that?
Some time in July.
You did that in July and it's still
Yeah.
bloody?
Well, I kind of peeled the scab here and there at work, hitting it on stuff like that. I peeled it last night working.
Probably not the best advertisement for the Bonefish Grill if their head chefs are peeling their scabs off at work. But then again, the wounds are more than likely a fresh injury from his struggle with Savannah, and they hadn't been peeled off at all.
And it was coming off a little bit today, so I peeled that a little bit.
All right, let me see.
But this and this was the same night. This one was just a lot worse
Yeah.
than this one was.
Okay. And that was in July?
Yeah.
Okay. Like a few weeks back?
Yeah.
Okay. When she's in the car, what does she say to you about what her plans are? So she's scheduled to work that night.
Mhm.
So she's going to work?
She didn't talk about, I mean, I assumed she was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
She was in her uniform. But she didn't say, when she got out of the car, she didn't say anything after she got out of the car.
They further reinforce his confidence by going back to his narrative of the truck and allow him to convey the story in more meticulous detail. They are once again giving him a false sense of security, only to use it against him at the opportune moment.
And she gets in that truck. Let's be honest, we won't even call her she, Savannah. Okay? Savannah, again, with this picture, if we're using it in the same place, from where your drawing was, they drove over here. You're here, and they drive out over here. Do they stop? Does she get out and go into work? Does the truck keep going?
I didn't see once they turned the corner past the ATM. Once she got in and they left, I left. Because I just...
Did you run into them on the road anywhere?
No.
Okay. Did she call you later on or text you later on?
Savannah, no.
No other contact with her?
No.
So where's Savannah right now?
I don't know.
Where would I find her?
I don't know.
This is a far more aggressive confrontation. It's essentially an accusation that the suspect is involved in Savannah's disappearance. Innocent subjects will usually reciprocate this aggression and respond to this type of question with a question of their own, such as, "Why are you asking me that?" Or, "What are you trying to say?" They would openly recognize and refute the allegation, most often in a forceful manner. Lee had no emotional response whatsoever, nor an ounce of shock. He answered the question with a composed demeanor, almost as if he knew it was coming. It lets the detectives know he was anticipating some type of blunt confrontation.
That's my prime objective, is to find her.
Definitely.
I think time's running out on her. I want to find this girl. I need to find her.
I understand.
And here's a couple reasons I need to find her. One is I'm hoping that she's still alive. And that's really, I really do, I'm holding out for that. And if she's not alive, then I think she and her family are due that knowledge. I think I think they need some closure, because I think the reality is if somebody's dead somewhere, a parent would want to know. I think do you have kids?
No.
Okay, so one day when you have kids, the uncertainty is whatever kind of a person she is. And I'm not about to say what kind of a person she is, because I'm not making any judgments. I'm saying that this human being is, if she's alive, then I want to find her. I need to make sure she's okay, because several days now she hasn't been around. Things happen to the human body, and people can't stand a lot of things that can transpire. But the other thing is, if she's not, this family deserves better than this. This family deserves better than somebody who works with her and who's got knowledge and won't tell the police because they're worried about their own ass.
This motherfucker is rambling, bro. At this point, I mean, it doesn't matter. He already clocked it. He already fucking clocked him. But sorry, I was cooking in the background while watching. But now he's just like rambling on for no fucking reason. He already had it. What he's trying to do now is basically say, you're a good guy for admitting. Come on, like, you would be a good guy if you admitted what was going on. You know? That's what's going on there. Like, in the off chance that she's alive or anything like that, but it's just like,
because that's pretty cheap. I'm gonna be honest with you. And
I agree.
your feelings in it, I don't really care about your feelings. What I care about is finding her. So where is she?
I don't know where she is.
Where is Savannah?
I don't know.
I need to know where Savannah is so I can
don't
let
know
her family
where
know.
she is.
You don't know because
Fuck.
you had something done with her and you weren't involved in that part? I don't know. Tell me something. What can I work with?
I told you the last time I saw her.
But that's not true because we have proof.
This moment would have been rehearsed multiple times before the interrogation started. The investigators would have planned who would reveal the surveillance to the suspect, and at roughly what moment. The suspect had been confronted multiple times, and the situation was now fully transparent, yet he continued to maintain his innocence by clinging on to his narrative. It becomes evident that he isn't going to budge, so the female detective takes the initiative. She reveals their final and most substantial piece of evidence for the purpose of maximizing the pressure.
We have proof. And that's why we're sitting here, Lee. At this point, we need this for her. I mean, I look at that little girl and I think of my little girl. My little girl who's hurting.
dude, how fucking jealous is this guy, dude? Are you all right? I'm sorry, man. Profit is stealing it. The guy makes 6 figures a year at least. Omega Law also wears t-shirts like "Kill the Rich." I've literally never worn a t-shirt that says "Kill the Rich." You all right, dude? Seems like you're not all right.
That's who I think about. That was my little girl. I couldn't imagine. I don't care what she said about you or whatever, but my little girl is that age.
Maybe
And you're not telling the truth.
Maybe something gets out of hand in the car.
I didn't do.
Also, 6 figures, try 10, bro.
Anything.
Okay, you didn't do
Okay,
anything, but she
okay.
was in your car. She never got out of your car. She never got out of your car. Lee?
We're not saying that you did anything. I'm trying to find her. I didn't say you did.
Bro, she is throwing, dude. This is called get over the top aggressive approach method, okay? This method is called start fucking yelling at the suspect.
I don't know where she is.
They are both throwing. They were doing so well. 21 minutes in, they clapped them, especially because they had really good investigation. But, I mean, they had really good proof.
Well, we can prove that you left with her in the car. So please, do everybody a favor and just tell us.
Where is she?
I don't know.
You got to be able to be able to separate. We're not sitting
This is called Ramble Cop, Emotional Cop.
here saying you did anything to her. I don't know. She's on drugs. Maybe she passed. I don't know. I'm not in that car with you guys. I know that she's in that car with you. I have proof of all of this.
Okay, let me ask you, Lee. Then tell us now if you're being an honest man. Are you being honest?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's start being honest. She never got out of your back seat, Lee. She never got out of your back seat. Video cameras don't lie.
Lee.
How do you know How do you think I know this information, Lee? I wasn't there, but a video camera caught it.
Tell me what happened.
I don't know.
What happened to her? Was it an overdose?
First lady investigator and she burst out in emotion. What the fuck? No. One of the lady investigators we've seen was so fucking cracked, dude. The one from Colorado or whatever was insane. She was so good. The polygraph lady, oh my fucking god, dude. She was so good. Like, so, which is why is and the other lady was pretty good too on the was it on Jodi Arias or whatever? There we've seen a bunch of like lady cops that were pretty decent. She's just not very good, and it's mostly because Florida.
Is that what happened? I don't know. I'm not in the car with you guys. You just said she was in your car and she had admitted.
Too many chatters here want excuse to be sexist. I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, dude. I mean, they rehearsed this, but like, this is fucking a terrible rehearsal and a terrible fucking expression. And I would go ahead and assume that it's because they're just not great at their jobs.
Admittedly had done heroin.
This is a cross between the how and why solution and the alternative question. Both are used to lower the gauge of admission for the purpose of getting one foot in the door, which will then become the new foundation for building the case. The how and why solution essentially blames the victim, while at the same time minimizes the motivations behind the crime. The alternative question plants a seed in the suspect's mind, where they are given an alternative and far more morally accepting choice for what happened. It's a smart move, yet the suspect doesn't fall for it on this occasion.
Bodies overdose all the time. Is that what happens? Does she overdose?
Okay, well, tell us when you left with her in the car, because that is what is shown. We can't make up that. We can't falsify a video camera, Lee. I'm not lying to you, because you know I'm telling the truth, because you know that's what's on the video. How else would I know that? I don't, unless I have the video. Where did you go with her?
I didn't go anywhere with her.
You did.
No.
You did. So the video camera's lying?
Somebody said there are more techniques than are shown in anime. That's very good. The amount of jutsus in this is so hard to fucking follow.
I don't know this. I mean,
Well, I'm telling you.
The surveillance footage was no doubt incriminating evidence, yet wouldn't close out a case on its own that easily. The investigators need a confession, and continue to apply pressure in a relentless manner. They attack the suspect's character, while simultaneously appealing to his sense of morality.
I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. I'm not making that up. That's why I'm so passionate about this. This is someone's child. You might not have kids, but damn it, she's someone's kid. We're fact finders, Lee. I don't have anything personal against you.
No, not at all. I mean, it's
We're
over.
just fact
Just
finders.
tell us
We're
what
just
happened.
doing
Where
our
is she?
job. No. Where did you go with her? Where did you go with her, Lee? Be human. You're a human. You're a man. Where did you go with her? I know you're not that cruel.
Bro, was this technique called throwing? Because, like, I mean, I'm sorry. You say I'm fucking sexist all day, but, like, it's not good. This is, like, a terrible fucking technique.
Cruel inside? Seriously. Where did you go with her?
Maybe you
Please.
maybe you don't know where she is now. Where did you go with her?
Please. I'm begging you, Lee. Please. Please tell us. Please don't make us waste any more of our time. Just tell us. Please tell us. Please. I'm begging you. I know you're not evil.
This is literally the exact same energy as the fucking Flat Fuck Friday cop that we saw yesterday. Who was like, come on, Steven, can you do this with your chair? I can do it with mine. Come on, Steven, just admit to the murder. Do it, Steven.
Just tell us where she is. I'm begging you. Please. Please.
What the fuck?
Can you please just tell me?
Even my
Where did
mom
you
in the
go with
background's
her
like, why
then?
is she
Can
begging
you-
him?
At
Jeez.
least tell us that.
At least tell us that part. Where did you go with her afterwards? She didn't get out of your car, and you know that,
Yeah,
obviously, because
well,
I
and
know
we do
that.
too. That's why we're here. Just tell us where. Where did you go with her? Tell us that. At least point us in that direction.
This is called I'm begging for you to admit technique.
We've been. No one's. We're not saying anything that you intentionally did anything. Just tell us where you went.
When y'all left out of there, you went down Clare Lane, you made a left on San Jose, about to 295, and you get up on 295. Okay. Where else did you go before you went home? I mean, I know you eventually went home,
I
but...
didn't go anywhere. I went straight home.
Okay, so what did y'all do when you got home? Savannah was with you.
Oh.
She was with you.
Oh.
And that's okay at that point, but I need to know where did she go from there?
Bro, he might be too stupid to get caught up in this, by the way.
Is she still at your house?
No.
Okay. Is she still in your car?
No.
Okay. Well, then where is she?
I don't know where she is.
Okay.
Chad's about to be like, see, Hassan, you were so wrong. It actually worked. It's like, no, dude, he's literally too stupid. It wasn't because she was like brilliant or he was brilliant. It's because he's too fucking dumb and like almost accidentally in 21 minutes gave away his only way to like get out of this.
Where did you last drop her off at?
I didn't drop her off.
Okay, well then tell me.
What happened? Where'd you guys go?
We went to my house.
This is a breakthrough. The investigators have got Lee to amend his
He's literally too dumb. He literally is the dumbest criminal. I mean, criminals are dumb to begin with, but like,
story once more by lowering the level of admission. And this shows that he can still be...
I'm not even going to hand it to these guys because 21 minutes in, he like revealed literally on his own. He on accident revealed the information that incriminated him and made him like the primary and perhaps the only suspect. And then fucking 51 minutes in, he reveals again for no reason other than like he wasn't like caught in a fucking lie. He wasn't caught in anything. He just personally has leaked twice and he's done.
Influenced. As stated earlier, they were trying to get one foot in the door, which they have now done, and this is their new platform to build on the more damnatory elements.
We did some jokes,
Okay.
hung out for a little, and then she said she was going to catch an Uber home.
What was going on in the
Didn't
back
do
seat?
anything to
What was
Savannah.
going on in the back seat? For the doors to be kicked open. She kicked open that door 3 times, Lee. She kicked it. We saw it. Where's Savannah?
I don't know.
You do know. Lee, we understand. Listen, we understand.
We're not trying to hinge you up on anything, man. I'm telling you, I'm thinking about this girl and her family. And your family.
She was... Sorry.
Please tell me where to go find her.
Oh my God, they're both terrible.
That's how people remember you.
This is called the begging over and over again technique. Not dissimilar to the top of the hour technique that I will be applying right now where I run a 60-second ad break. But instead of begging for you to subscribe, I will tell you, you can if you would like to. If you'd like to subscribe, that is fine. If you'd like to admit that my transition was very smooth, that's also fine. You could just write that in the chat. Okay? I would like to also let you know that if you no longer want to see the ads, you can subscribe for free with the Twitch Prime. Okay? Prime is free. Or a $5 subscription if you'd like, or use an ad break, or a VPN technique. Thank you, Ibuki Tanuki, for the 20 gifted subs. That was the 20 gifted subs technique. Very effective. Here's the 1-minute ad now. What am I eating? I am currently eating curry chicken, which is what I eat every day.
The released footage of the interrogation tape cuts off at this exact moment. The state's attorney has been contacted by multiple sources to release the next segment, but has so far refused to do so. All we know is that Lee Rodarte admitted to killing Savannah Gold. The only information that is currently released is that he proclaimed to have killed Savannah by breaking her neck. He then took her back to his house where he burned her body in a self-made fire pit, and then dumped her in a lake at the dead end of a secluded road.
What? Why? What'd they do, bro? You can find the confession on YouTube now?
Savannah had injuries to over 75% of her body. The medical examiner was unable to pinpoint the exact cause of death. The only conclusion was that it was a violent homicide.
Oh my god, dude. This is called the hidden technique, where you beat the fuck out of someone and then you know, lose the tapes. Why don't you play the ads but not pause the YouTube video? Because I want to punish you, dude. That's why. I tell you at the top of every hour how you can avoid the ads. If you're still like, oh, I don't want to get an ad blocker. Oh, I don't want to get a VPN. Oh, I don't want to subscribe. Then you get punished, okay? Get fucked. Also, because, like, these videos are fucking 7.5 hours long, and I choose when and where I'd like to get stun locked. Like, for example, right now. Sorry. Yes, Your Honor, this is the abuse I mentioned. Yeah. But if we get ad block, you don't get any money. I don't want to get fucking ad revenue from you, like, not getting ad block, dude. I don't care. Like, oh man, thanks for watching the ads, dude. Like, I don't give a shit. Don't watch the ads. Okay, please back this one up. Okay, dude, here you go, motherfuckers. Here you go. I'll do this one time for the plebs.
House where he burned her body in a self-made fire pit and then dumped her in a lake at the dead end of a secluded road. Savannah had injuries to over 75% of her body. The medical examiner was unable to pinpoint the exact cause of death. The only conclusion was that it was a violent homicide. The segment of admission was cut, yet the JSO released the footage that came just moments after. It shows a human being experiencing an emotional reckoning so overwhelming, while also trying to process the terrifying nature of his immediate...
They don't show how they got him to confess. The footage was not revealed by the state attorneys. It got lost. Apparently it's available now.
situation.
Oh.
Wait, it is on YouTube? Thank you, Franny. Thank you, Franny, for the 10 gifted subs technique.
Fucking idiot, Lee. Fucking stupid. You here?
I do not even feel remotely bad about this piece of shit. What happened, big man? Not so big now, huh?
The instant anguish over his decision to confess, combined with the looming prospect of what lays ahead, will have forged a unique emotional distress that very few will ever experience. It's a harrowing sight, and under different circumstances would be extremely difficult for most people to witness. Yet we are now couched within the context of events that led up to this moment, and this will make its observation far more tolerable, but by no means easy.
No, it's pretty easy.
It's so stupid. Oh, fucking.
Thank you, Kelso, for the 10 gifted sub technique. Chad, if you'd like to never be in this situation, there is one technique that you can always apply, which is don't do a fucking murder technique. It's really cool. It costs $0 fucking dollars, and pretty much everyone knows about it, and everyone is capable of doing it. So you don't need to go to college. You don't need to do like some fucking criminal psych classes to learn about this technique. It's just called don't do a fucking murder. Pretty much one of the best techniques out there. Holy shit, Queen Luigi. Thank you for the 15. And Natalie Gers with the 5.
Oh, no.
What the fuck is going on, dude? Bro, stop gifting me subs. Okay? The moment I start reading like one fucking gifted sub, everybody starts peppering gifted subs. Stop it. Thank you, Cozy Punks, for the 5. Thank you, Tuna Latica, for the 5. Your Discord is added again. Sigma pose beta. We have the full confession of Lee Rodarte. Thank you, disappointing yam.
Stop. Killed in jail.
Man, this is actually very fun to watch. And not even remotely sad to watch. Like, he was wrong when he said this is hard to watch. This is actually, I don't know. This is quite great. Thank you, JC Knows Nothing.
Shit. I'm nice to you. For somebody who was a bitch to you. Does that make any sense? It's time to get to wear a chef coat.
Wait, I'm sorry. He's like upset that he's losing his chef's coat at the Bone Grill, dude. A Bonefish Grill? Like, this is the last time you've disrespected the Bonefish Grill, dude. You had a future ahead of you at the Bonefish Grill. You threw it all away, dude.
It's fucking make something of your fucking life. Everything. Going places, man. Your fucking head. Could've just told her, leave me alone.
Chatter who said, guys, shut the fuck up, you'd be crying too? Dog, he's a murderer. Like, did you forget that he fucking brutally murdered an innocent woman?
Lee was remanded into custody and taken to the Duval County Jail where he was denied bond. In spite of the overwhelming evidence against him and the prospect of life in prison without the possibility of parole, he pled not guilty and claimed that Savannah's killing was an act of self-defense, even though he stands at 5'11", weighing 163 pounds, while Savannah was just 5 feet tall and weighed 91 pounds. He claimed that he was in fear of his life after she slapped him multiple times in the face, at which point he grabbed her neck, felt a pop, and realized he had accidentally broke it, resulting in her death. The state's attorney's office had no comment on this motion. All they have stated is that this trial is expected to commence during the summer of 2020.
You got a 40-year prison sentence for pleading guilty?
Yeah.
We can
We
work with
can
that.
work with that, man. We can work with that.
What-
You gotta do the right thing now. You can do this. You can do the right thing.
She was hitting me. She wouldn't stop, and I squeezed back,
Okay.
and she was just,
Was she under your arm or something? Or
she started hitting me. After I, slashed her tire.
I mean, I don't want to watch the whole thing. I don't really care. Especially now that we've seen the entire situation. Now that we know what happened to Lee Rodarte, it's quite hard to watch this gruesome footage. This is called the we're going to move on to another video technique. Rewind to find how they got it out of him.
is she still at your house?
No.
Okay. Is she No,
Where's she
no, no. Where did you go with her? Where did you go with her, Lee? Be human. You're a human. You're a man. Where did you go with her? I know you're not that cruel inside. Seriously. Where did you go with her?
This is the where did you go with her technique. The detective here is aware that repeating the same question over and over again is kind of fucking annoying. But this is simply, to the untrained eye, a nuisance. But to a professional like myself, a consummate professional, what the detective is doing here is wearing Lee down mentally.
Maybe you
Please.
maybe you don't know where she is now. Where did you go with her?
Please. I'm begging you, Lee. Please. Please tell us. Please don't make us waste any more of our time. Just tell us. Please tell us. Please. I'm begging you. I know you're not evil. Just tell us where she is. I'm begging you. Please.
Go to 6 minutes
Please.
past 20? What do you mean?
Can you please just tell me? You do know. Is that how you want it? People to...
She calmed down, and we left. We talked, and we left.
Why would she leave with you after that? Why would she want to say, thanks for slashing my tires, thanks for...
Guys, I don't care what you are fucking saying about where I should go in the video. This is basically where we left it off a little bit further. There are people in the chat who are literally just brain dead. Like, they barely function as human beings, okay? And you're over here looking at what they're writing in the chat and being like, duh, why are you not clicking on that? Why? Because I know what the fuck I'm doing. Also, look at the top. This is what that person meant when they said 6 minutes past 20. Okay? So shut the fuck up.
for grabbing me, thanks for trying to slap me. Cool.
If
yeah,
they weren't, you wouldn't have so many viewers. This is
I mean,
true.
we've gotten arguments plenty of times where she says she doesn't care what happens or anything like that.
But let's be honest. No one's going to go with some man willingly after all that. No one's going to do it. Please tell me where Savannah is.
No.
You do know. You do know, Lee. And right now is the time. You're so close, and I know.
Like, let me tell you a case of bad brain, okay? There's a guy in the chat right now who's trying to get my attention. And he's been trying so desperately for like the past hour. Oh, okay. He says, he keeps typing. Oh, okay. You mean to tell me that just because he murdered one guy, he's a bad person? I thought you were for rehabilitation. That guy has been spamming that over and over again. He wrote that down. Okay. He thought it up. And he wrote that down and he thought, I'm going to really get him with this. Okay. I'm going to fucking get him so hard with this. He will read my comment and he will lose his mind. He will have no response to this. He will be absolutely destroyed. And I will subsequently get all of the attention from the stream, which like I'm doing right now. So that person's brain is bad. It's not good. That's a bad brain, dude. Okay? That's a bad brain. There's a lot of people like that in the chat. Not good. It's not good.
I know you're going to tell me. I know you are because I just know you are.
The fuck?
Because I know you want to do the right thing, but you're scared to do the right thing. I get it.
Yeah.
I do. I'm not.
Can you just tell me what I'm being charged with, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was very weird. I can't tell if that was just like sweat from my hair or something that fell on my neck, or if like my fucking ceiling is leaking or something. It's probably from my hair though. It's very hot here. Like the other guy with the bad brain who keeps writing, I wonder how many people in your chat will murder someone in the future. Like that guy's been writing that for a while too. He thinks it's a great fucking take. He thinks that's a good take. Like I think this is important to think about. He just keeps writing it over and over again. I haven't read it on purpose because I think it's weird. It's weird to think about. I don't want to think about it.
I want to find
I don't
out.
know yet, but at least I do know that you have the KPS out for your arrest for the DWLS.
We found that.
For the what?
The DWLS, I think. Yeah.
No.
But
I don't
where's
see-
Savannah?
So what am I being charged with now? Driving while
There is no
suspended
wet
license?
stain on the ceiling, so it's got to be my fucking sweat.
I don't know yet. I gotta talk to the attorney that's sitting out there watching this interview. Where's Savannah?
I don't know.
You do know. So you're gonna make me and our team and this whole entire sheriff's office and every person in the community to get out there after, after they know the truth of who she left with and sees the struggle in the backseat of your car. And you're gonna make all of us go and search Jacksonville for her. And you
This
can
is
just easily
called-
tell me where she is.
This is
Is that
called.
what we're gonna put everybody through?
Think about
This is called the don't inconvenience us. Come on, just fucking give it up technique.
this. All right.
Only the
Sometimes
best cops
people do
know
wrong
this.
things, right? Some people make mistakes. It's what you do afterwards. I got a family that needs closure. They are now coming to the reality that she's no longer with us. I need closure for them. When stuff gets out that you guys left and all that together and all that kind of stuff, do you want people to remember you as a guy who said, okay, look, I'm going to do the right thing? Or do you want your family and everybody else to think that you're some evil, heartless person who won't tell us where she is? Why would you put your family and her family through all that?
Of course, they will think he's an evil, heartless person.
I don't think you're that kind of guy. I don't think you're evil. Something got out of hand. I get it. But what do you do after that? Here's what you do. You do the right thing now. Just tell us where she is. Closure for her family.
Lee, we understand. Listen, we understand.
We're not trying to hem you up on anything, man. I'm telling you, I'm thinking about this girl and her family. And your family.
She was serving.
Please tell me where to go find her. That's how people remember you.
Is he crying?
Okay.
Yeah.
We can
We
work with
we
that.
can work with that, man. We can work with that.
What?
You gotta do the right thing now. You can do this. You can do the right thing.
She was hitting me.
That's it. And that's how. That's where he fucking breaks.